Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Morgan Danielle, and today for you guys I have a get ready with me. I'm going to be doing my makeup for you guys and talking to you guys about where I've been, why I haven't been uploading to YouTube in a minute. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I already started off with my brows done. I originally tried to film this video and then I realized that my camera died and most of the footage was on the video that was part of it when it died. So yeah, I had to refilm. So I did my brows with the Wet n Wild kohl eyeliner. Looks like this, and this is in the color Simmer Brown. Now it's like 93 cents at the drugstore. I recommend it. Like, it's really cheap and inexpensive, and then on top of it, like, you can really draw on your brows. I like pencils. Some people like dip brow. I prefer pencils. But yes, I'm just gonna be doing my everyday makeup look. To start this off, I'm gonna actually do a little bit of concealer underneath my brows just to kind of help clean them up, because even though I had to redo them off camera, but really these are the same brows that I did the first time, but just a little more filled in because they kind of almost got lost when I was taking them off. They didn't come off when I was washing my makeup off, so I just kind of left them there and refilled them in. And so yeah, so I'm just going to be putting a little bit of concealer. I don't like to put it directly under the brow. I feel like when you do it that way, it does kind of make it a little more difficult to handle, so I'm just gonna like keep it underneath. And this is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the color Tan 45. I'm gonna take my beauty blender and just pat my eyelid, and I always just take it up a little bit so it looks like it's underneath my brow, and that just kind of helps clean up any marks of where I might have messed up, because ooh girl, I am not very accurate at, you know, drawing, as you can see by my brows. But yes, so where have I been? I'm still in school. I'm closer to finishing school than I was years ago. Gonna be taking my LA Colors Conceal It Cover and Correct Concealer in the color Orange. I love color correcting. It's become a staple of my makeup. And excuse me if you see me like looking a little sick. I was diagnosed with strep throat a couple days ago, so I'm just now getting over most of that infection. But yeah, so where have I been? Basically, I have been really having a rough year. 2019 was rough for me. I don't know for anyone else, but for me, I'm taking the video and blend this out. 2019 was rough. Like, I'm excited for 2020, but I'm nervous because I thought 2019 would be a good year. Like, I really did, because 21 was rough. So I thought, how much more rough could, you know, ew, what the fuck? So I thought, how much more rough can 2019 be? Well, shouldn't have asked that question, because 2019 really sucked as far as like personally. Like, I went through like bad situations with friends, in my love life, at work, financially. Like, it just seems like everything took a hit. Like, everything, like every aspect of my life just became a struggle, and it was like it was so far different than like what I was used to. 'Cause like for a while it seemed like life was going good and like nothing could go wrong. I'm taking the Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. Actually, I think I'm gonna actually take my Fit Me foundation in the color 340 Cappuccino. And yeah, so it was like, I felt like life was really going, okay, my mirror is acting a little funny, baby. I felt like my life was going really, really well at the end of 2018. I felt like I was really back where I wanted to be in life, and I was doing things that I wanted to do, and I just was excited. I was very excited. Like, but 2018 was rough. But it was, I didn't realize that 2019 would be worse. And 2019 was worse in that, like, I feel like I started to experience growing pains. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was going through different emotions all at once, and like I couldn't really find a way to like really express how I was feeling. So I was keeping a lot inside, and I was really keeping a lot to myself, and we all know that's not good. But on top of it, it just felt like I really felt very trapped in my situations. You know, like for the first time in a very long time, I didn't feel like I could see a way out of a lot of my problems. And that was different for me because I am an optimistic person for the most part, but I'm also very realistic about how situations play themselves out. So I thought that I needed to really readjust at the end of 2018. And so I got into therapy. I started going to therapy, but then I felt like therapy wasn't the answer anymore. And so I stopped going to therapy. And therapy really helped me realize, where a lot of my past previous pain was coming from, but it did nothing to really help me solve the current problems, like the stuff that I felt like was really like pressing. And like I'm still going to school, and school is tough because one, I don't go to school. I don't go to school in my hometown. So, the school that I go to is not from where I'm from. So I had to get used to a whole new place to live. But then on top of it, like the student body here is not friendly. They're definitely not trans friendly. They're barely LGBTQ friendly. Like that's even a stretch. Like I don't even think they really like gay men, let alone trans women. So coming here was very different than my last school because my last school was pretty open-minded, and then coming here and then experiencing such a difference because like I mean people have threatened my life here, so it goes without saying like the school that I go to now is transphobic and not very supportive. So it was like I left my support system, went somewhere where I probably would have needed a large support system, and because I didn't have it, it just seemed like as a result, like my life started to spiral. Like I started to go through things that I wasn't used to, and like I was going through relationship problems, I was going through friends problems, family problems, like the whole nine. It just seemed like 2019 just didn't go my way. And after 2018 really was not a good year. I just kind of checked out. Like YouTube became such an afterthought. Like I had no enthusiasm to film a video. Like I felt like filming a video just seemed like out of sight, out of mind. Like it just seemed like something that would just be even more stressful. And I felt like my YouTube wasn't going anywhere. I felt like I was being overlooked. I felt like there were other YouTubers just blowing up for no reason, and I felt like here I am trying to be positive for both the Black community and for the LGBTQ community, and like everyone was overlooking me. And I felt like I needed money, and I felt like YouTube was not giving me what I felt I needed financially, and that alone kind of just made me be like, okay, I don't know. And I felt like I didn't have that creativity that I had once had. So I kind of just checked out from YouTube for a little bit, and then I got stuck in a rut. I didn't know like what video I should make next. So I kept making story times, but I felt like the story times were just getting dumber and dumber, and I was just over it, and I wanted to do something different. So therapy didn't work, and I just went on about life being sad. And I kept trying to figure out what's wrong, like what's the problem, why am I not happy, why am I, why? Because like at my old school, there were students who didn't agree with me being trans, and there were students that said things to me. I was harassed at my last school as well. But I was like, what's the difference? Like, what's making it such a harder experience? I'm like, what's the difference? I dealt with this shit at my last school, so what's the difference in like the only thing that might be different is maybe the skin tone of the people who are saying these things, but like other than that, like like it's pretty much the same, pretty much the same stick, the same bullshit. And I realized that I had really given up on myself, like I had not yet realized that your 20s is a time where you grow as a person and you really change, and I was trying to cling to old things that no longer were true for me. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I guess what I'm saying is that I've outgrown certain things, and I thought those things would be true for the rest of my life. But come to find out, oh, sorry, I took my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in 45 tan, and then now I'm taking one in, whoops, wrong one. No wonder it wasn't coming out. So now I'm taking it in the colors 20 Sable, and I'm just going to apply that right on top, just to kind of help brighten. But yeah, so I've outgrown certain things, and did not want to accept that things were changing in my life. I was trying so hard to be a control freak, and I was not ready for life to change. I was not ready for things to change, and I was not going with the changes. I was resisting. And I think when you resist change, it makes it harder for the change to happen, and it makes it more difficult to adjust because you're trying so hard to like keep things from not being the same. And sometimes things are just gonna change, and as you get into your older, into your 20s, it does. And so I was realizing that like what I wanted out of a relationship was different. I was realizing that like what I want career-wise was different than what I initially thought it would be. You know, like I realized that like there were certain things that like I philosophically did not agree with. There were moral things that I didn't think were right. So it's like I was realizing all of these things, and my priorities were changing, but like my mentality towards it was not. And so then it felt like I was just constantly battling thing after thing after thing after thing after thing, and that made life a bit hard. And it was like I lost my drive to do stuff for me. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I wasn't doing things for me. I was doing things for everybody else. I was doing things to please others, but I wasn't doing things for me. I'm taking my Airspun in the color rosy beige, and I'm gonna just be popping that underneath the eye and then all the areas that I put my highlights. And this is a really good cheap drugstore powder. It's like $5 at Walmart. So yeah, girl, and it works perfect. Okay, so like, you know, go cop. But yeah, so like I just was going through the motions, and it really just was a hard time. And like here's the thing, I don't know how to ask for help. Being vulnerable is not my thing. Like that's not my thing. I'm a very headstrong, very like I'll do it myself person. I am the type of person who feels like I will dry my own tears. You get what I'm saying? Like I have that mentality. Like I'm very headstrong. I'm very like I'm like my dad in that I do not like to ask for help. I do not like to say that I'm struggling. I like to just put on a brave face and keep it pushing. I'll put on a smile and keep it pushing. But I realize that when I do that, I not only alienate people, but I make it very hard to like, I make it rough on myself. You know, I was not understanding that like things are just not gonna always be the same. Things are just not always gonna be the same, you know, in life. Like, and you have to embrace the change, you know, like something like the changes are always gonna come. And so now I'm on a path to trying to redirect my energy toward the things that I can change and not being too fixated on what I can't change, because that just always causes issues. I'm gonna swipe off the excess powder with a brush, so yeah. So it was like I had to learn to embrace the changes instead of trying to like stop them from even occurring in the first place, because it was causing me a lot more stress than I wanted to admit at the time. And then I'm gonna get my bronzer, which is by Black Radiance. This bronzer is called Beautiful Bronze by Black Radiance. I know it doesn't look like there's anything in there, but I dropped it and it cracked, so that's why there's nothing in there. So yeah, it was just like I realized that you have to recognize when you need to reevaluate yourself, and like when you need to really go back and figure out what it is that matters and what's important. And you know, sometimes we just have to admit that like everything's not okay, you know, like. And I feel like once I started being honest with myself and admitting like, hey, things are not fine. Like we're not fine actually. Like we're actually not okay. Things are not, you know, going our way. I think I was able to better accept it, but now the process is in trying to go back and rebuild myself and accept that things are changing for me, and relearning who I am and refiguring out who I am, because I feel like I transitioned so late that I didn't have time to really get myself together and be prepared for it, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to be taking my bronzer and I'm going to be using that to pop on a little bit of shadow. to give my eyes a little bit of that oomph, you know. But yeah, so I was just really over it for a long time. Like, I really was just suffering academically, mentally, spiritually. And it really took me having to get to a point where I was like, okay, Morgan, like, let's sit down and film a video. Let's just film something. Let's just film something. Or let's just do this. Let's just do this. You know, like, let's just do something. And some people say, like, oh, I don't want to force myself to do anything creative. But sometimes you have to force yourself. You know, sometimes you have to, like, really make yourself do something that you really used to love to do, so that way you can really revamp yourself. And so that's where my healing has come from. My healing has come from, you know, sitting down with myself and saying, Morgan, like, what do you need? What do you want? You know, like, where's your life? And reassessing that, you know. I was battling strep throat a couple days ago, and like, that was really like when I really kind of got my mindset that I wanted to make a YouTube video, because I was like, okay, like, this is how I know that, like, I need to do something to make myself feel better, because I was sick, I was angry, I was upset, I was tired. So my mental health has become my top priority. So I just popped a little bit on the lids. I don't like to do eyeshadow anymore. I actually sometimes rock my face literally just like this. I love it. I think that it looks very natural and very clean, and this is my everyday makeup look because it looks very natural and clean. You can tell I have makeup on, obviously, to whoever, you know, needs to be Captain Obvious and be like, how does it look natural when you have makeup on? Like, that's the point. Like, it's supposed to look a little bit like I didn't put on a bunch of makeup. But yeah, I was dealing with people that I didn't need to deal with, and that was really what it was. It was really just like I was going through all these changes, and it was all this toxic energy leaving my life, and instead of me letting the toxic energy go, I was clinging to it because it was familiar. It was all I knew. And I think that's really what I've learned over the course of 2018, 2019. Like, if there are toxic people in your life, let them go. Let them go. And if they start trying to leave your life, let them go. You know, like, do not try to fight and hold on to things that are not meant to be. If someone's meant to be in your life, they will be in your life. You know, even if y'all have problems, they will be in your life. You know, that's just how it goes. You know, that's friends, coworkers, boyfriends, girlfriends, hookups, flings, teachers, students, like, all of that. Like, people will come and go in your life, but the ones who are meant to stay will stay. And so that's how I've learned to look at things. I'm gonna pop on this dollar store gloss because you can't go wrong with no gloss candy. So now I feel like I'm keeping a lot of love in my circle, and it feels a lot better than what I've been experiencing with feeling unloved and feeling like I was having to be a shell of my outer self and be vulnerable. Okay, accept change. I feel like the one thing you can do is understand that in your 20s, things are going to change on a dime. Every year is going to be different, and I feel like I'm now about to be 23 soon, and my mind's in an entirely different place, and that's fine, you know. But it's really like a refocusing of my mind and a recentering of my brain and a recentering of what is important. And we have to do that from time to time. And I feel like that's the key to getting through your 20s and working on your mental health, is when you get to a certain point, you have to realize what is important to me, what is my priorities, what is best for me, and then getting to that place. And that's always helped bring me back to my happy place. So filming this video is bringing me back to my happy place because it's reminding me of the joy I felt from creating content. You get what I'm saying? So I'm going to throw on a wig. I'm going to wrap this up. So to wrap this all up, I just want to say that I love you guys. Make sure that you like and share and subscribe to my channel for more videos. I'm going to try to do more videos, at least one video a week or every 2 weeks, or however best I can work it into my schedule. Any video ideas, you can leave them down in the comments below, and I will try to get to them. But yeah, so really what I'm saying to you guys is protect your mental health at all costs, and do things for yourself, and do things that you love to do. And if you do feel like, you know, toxic things are in your life, get rid of them. I think that's really the point of what I've been saying. Like 2018, 2019 have just been really me breaking all of these toxic cycles that have been going on in my life since I was maybe 16, 17. I've been really transitioning into a full-fledged whole person, like a whole woman, and it's a journey, and I feel like that's really what I've been learning. So hopefully 2020 will be better. I think it definitely will. I have so many positive things to look forward to in 2020. If you have anything positive, please leave it down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.